I next want to go to a proclamation recognizing Hispanic Heritage Month, and that will be presented by Councilmember Navarro.
We're here today to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, which has actually been celebrated in the United States for over 50 years. And the real thrust of this month, and it's September 15th through October 15th, is to celebrate, to honor, to observe, and recognize the very important contributions of this community. A community that is very diverse. So we have members of the Hispanic American or Latino American community who've been here for generations and generations and generations, perhaps were originally here. And then we have the whole continuum of folks who have come here for various generations, or maybe 5 generations, 4, 3, 2, 1. It doesn't really matter, because at the core of the Hispanic heritage are certain values: family, hard work, helping others, service, and we are bound by a language, but also we are bound by this extraordinary diversity of music and oral traditions and food and customs and all kinds of other extraordinary things that have also become adopted and become a part of the fabric of the United States. And I've heard Antonio Tijerino say that apparently salsa, the actual sauce, has surpassed the sale of ketchup. And it's true, because the other interesting fact about the Latino community, which is now, I believe, 54 million strong or so in the United States, is that the purchasing power is quite extraordinarily powerful and strong. And so I wanted to take a moment to highlight the contributions of these residents from Montgomery County, and when you hear a little blurb about each and every one of them, you will appreciate how amazingly fortunate we are in this county to have not only a growing Latino Hispanic community that has embraced the values that we hold dear in this county, and have made extraordinary contributions as well to all sectors of the community. So I'm going to start by reading the blurb, and then we'll go into the proclamation, and then they can all say a few words. I'm going to start with the amazing Jose Antonio Tijerino, if you can step just a little bit here so we know you, who I would like to know the secret, because this young man, because he looks very young, is the president and CEO of the Hispanic Heritage Foundation. He has led the organization for 13 years. HHF prepares, connects, and positions Latino leaders in the classroom, community, and workforce to meet America's priorities. Tijerino is an active volunteer at the national, local level. In the county, he sits on boards of Imagination Stage, Latin American Advisory Group to the Montgomery County Executive, Clinton Services, among many others. He recently received the prestigious Otli Award, which is the highest recognition presented by the government of Mexico outside of Mexico, among other honors. He lives in Chevy Chase with his wife and wonderful children. He also every year hosts this amazing Hispanic Heritage Awards bonanza, where he gets, you know, Zoe Saldana and Eva Longoria, Carlos Vives, like all these people to just show up for Antonio Tijerino. And he can also get them, you know, meetings at the White House at a finger snap. So he's amazing. I don't know if he ever sleeps, because I'm always tracking him on Facebook. He's everywhere. And what really struck me is the fact that although Antonio circulates in all these extraordinary circles of celebrities and, you know, leaders of the international world, et cetera, he is so humble. When you see him interacting with students, he's so humble, and he really connects with them and inspires them to move forward. So from the heart, I just wanted to recognize you, and I'm so excited that he is a product of Montgomery County, and go Montgomery County. Now I'd like to make a little mention, yes, of another extraordinary leader here in our county and in our county government, Luis Cardona. Luis, come over, Luis. He's also very humble. You know, Luis Cardona is a humanitarian. He's a healer, he's a peacemaker, and currently he is the director, the coordinator of the Youth Violence Prevention for the county, DHHS. Luis has 22 years of experience as a gang prevention and intervention specialist. He has advised the governments of several Latin American countries, national, state, and local government entities, and public school systems on matters related to gangs. Mr. Cardona is a former gang member and an ex-offender that turned his life around after being shot 5 times and losing many of his best friends to the life of gangs and crime. Recently, Mr. Cardona has become one of many American faces that has responded to the humanitarian crisis of refugee children fleeing violence in Central America and advocated to welcome and support the refugee children with loving compassion, respect, and the dignity they deserve. And his work here in Montgomery County oftentimes is not seen because what he does is to be out there connecting with our youth, our at-risk youth, to make sure that they value and they own their own power and they don't continue to go down this path that he has experienced himself and has known. So although we don't see it reported a lot, it's because he's there making sure that it doesn't occur. He is a gem, not only to our county government, but extraordinary what he does on his own as a humanitarian. And immediately he went down to the border and he was there to talk one by one with many of these very scared parents and children as they were coming in, and immediately he helped begin to coordinate many of the responses for the region. So congratulations and thank you for being such an amazing role model. Carmen Hernandez, where are you, Carmen? Here she is. Carmen Hernandez is the leader for the Leader Network for Organizing Impact Silver Spring. She was born and raised in San Salvador, El Salvador, and has been living in the United States for the last 10 years. Since she was young, she has been an active member in her community, organizing and facilitating meetings at her church and as a Girl Scout. Currently, she supervises, coordinates, and leads several impacts initiatives, such as the neighborhood opportunity circles in the area of the county, realizing Impact's mission of building neighborhood networks that ignite inclusive local economies in vibrant communities. And Carmen is another one of those foot soldiers out there quietly building the civic engagement, the participation, really truly helping our community be more participatory in all of our different, not only county services, county government processes, but just really building community across neighbor to neighbor. So Carmen, congratulations and thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you. Oh. And she brought a cheerleading squad. All right. Judy Ramos. Judy is a senior at Albert Einstein High School who has been in the U.S. for 3 years. She is a student aide for the ESOL 1 students. She's able to help them with adjustment issues as well as with their academic tasks. She has comforted recently arrived students who were feeling overwhelmed or distressed for personal reasons. She will also be working with the Jaime Escalante Club to mentor new students weekly during lunchtime. Aside from her school achievements and involvements, Judy is a participant of the Street Outreach Network programs and is actively involved in the soccer and after-school program. She's a player and a coach to other participants. Thank you so much for everything that you do, Judy. Here's this, she's definitely shows the promise of our youth and how our youth is so committed to giving back, which gives me a lot of great satisfaction to know that. Wilber Reyes. There you are. Another cheering squad. He was born in El Salvador and has been living in the United States for only a couple of years and is a student at Watkins Mill High School. His father moved to the United States when he was only 6 months old, and his mother came later when he was 4. He lived and was raised by his grandparents until he was 17. He participates in identities programs offered through the school-based Health and Wellness Center. In overcoming life's obstacle, he cites effort, hard work, support from family, school staff, and identity as a key. Wilbur has exemplified leadership qualities among his peers in school and other areas of involvement. He's looking to participate as a Youth Police Academy program and is interested in becoming a police officer, so watch out there. Congratulations, and thank you so much for everything. Yes. And last but not least, Jelitza Medina. That's okay. Yalitza Medina was born in Venezuela and worked in the Air Force as a nurse. She immigrated to Montgomery County shortly after getting married. She obtained her license to continue her career as a nurse after learning of the Welcome Back Center of suburban Maryland. There, she received the guidance and support necessary to pass the exam. While she was part of the program, she had internships at Washington Adventist Hospital, where she had the opportunity of learning from health professionals about the U.S. healthcare system. She has worked in different areas of nursing and currently works in the emergency department at Holy Cross Hospital. She also volunteers in the community at in the community in his 9-year-old son's school, her 9-year-old son's school, or the Suburban Welcome Back Center. She is a very busy person, and I think people maybe have heard the story that I actually met her through a personal situation at the emergency room in Holy Cross. And she actually was the nurse that happened to provide the care for my family member and myself. And it was really kind of funny story because, she kind of walks in, we start talking, and at some point she says to me, "Do you speak Spanish?" And I said, "Yes." Or she saw the last name, and she said, "Oh, I didn't realize it." And I said, "Yeah, where are you from?" And she said, "From Venezuela." And I said, "Oh my God, no way." I said, "I thought you were like Russian." And then she looks at me and she goes, "I thought you guys were like from the Middle East." So it reminded me of how, in Venezuela, it's an extraordinary country with such diversity that you never know, like, who is your compatriot or not. But the one thing that stood out for me with Yalitza was her absolute dedication to every patient, every single patient that came in. She made them feel at ease. She went above and beyond to make sure that everything was seamless. And when I heard her story about how hard it was to go through the licensing process and studying so hard, but she told me, she said, "I was committed to do this, and it didn't matter if I had to put Post-it notes on all my mirrors around the house or everything. I was committed to this because I want to give back to this community that has embraced me." And she is making an amazing, amazing difference by her contributions. And I think, she's also been really good at advocating for the Welcome Back Suburban Center, and she's like, "Councilmember Navarro, please make sure that your colleagues, support this." So she's a cheerleader for them as well, and I just wanted to highlight the amazing contribution that you have prepared. So now let me read the proclamation. I guess I'll rerun. All right. So it says, Montgomery County Council, the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, proclaims, whereas from those who trace their roots to America's earliest days to those who recently came to the United States carrying nothing but hope for a better life, Latinos have always been integral to our national story. And whereas new Census Bureau data estimates that the U.S. Latino population topped 54 million as of July 1st, 2013, and is projected to triple by 2050. And whereas in Montgomery County, Latinos make up a little over 17% of the total population, and between 1980 and 2010, the Latino population grew by an astonishing 626%. And whereas Montgomery County recognizes that Latino Americans represent a wide array of cultures and have contributed to the development and prosperity of our community by contributing to the advancement of the economy, arts, science, sports, religion, business, education, and public service, and by affirming the importance of family bonds and community spirit. And whereas, to commemorate National Hispanic Heritage Month, which started on September 15th and ends on October 15th, we give our gratitude to the contributions of Latinos and community leaders throughout the county. Now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County celebrates and honors the leadership and trajectory of all these amazing people behind me, because I don't have the list with me, and I'm gonna probably miss somebody, but they each have their proclamation. And be it further resolved that the Montgomery County Council recognizes and celebrates the achievements of all Latinos through Hispanic Heritage Month, presented on this 30th day of September in the year 2014, signed by Craig Rice, our council president.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Council. Your leadership is even more necessary, Nancy, than it ever has before with some of those statistics that you have, and especially as the community grows and prospers in this county. We really appreciate your leadership. I follow you on Facebook as well, and really appreciate your leadership. It is humbling to be up here with people that are on the front lines dealing with issues that the Latino community has to deal with, especially Luis Cardona, and all of you, and especially the students. You guys have the greatest potential of anyone in history to make change. Right now, you reach more people on your computer in your room than Cesar Chavez, Martin Luther King, or Gandhi could in a lifetime combined. You can do that in a split second. And as my friend said earlier, Catherine, when you said, toma muchas gotas para hacer un vaso, sometimes it may seem like an ocean, but I'm very proud to be one of those gotas. And Hispanic heritage in my life has played a role of inspiration, but also a great sense of responsibility. And I want to thank my fellow LAG members that are here. I see Nestor, I see Ursulo's here, and Mrs. Wright. Thank you for all you do. Your spirit is in all of us, so I really appreciate it. And the children on the border, when Luis and I went down to McAllen to work with the kids on the border, and Belen Marquina, who's also from the county, orchestrated that trip for us. It was a tremendous opportunity to then take it from there into Montgomery County. And then we had a press conference where Nancy served on that as well. And again, we're going to be counting on your leadership even more than ever. So thank you all very much. I'm very humbled.